What's going on? You, Tube, Vincenzo, Steve, Dave. Um, I don't think Michael will be here tonight. He had some work stuff come up, so it'll probably be. If he does anything, he'll just be watching. But IRP number 222, Rick Ross, hustling. Talk a little bit about some of the NFL moves. Again, want to get Brad on, but Brad's schedule with ours does not
jive.
No, which sucks because we know everybody likes listening to him go through his thoughts about things going on and whatnot. But I know for sure the draft, it's pretty much a go when it boils down to that. So,
yeah, at a bare minimum, draft. We work around Brad's schedule for the draft.
Yeah,
that's a given. That is a given.
So, we'll talk about our sort of thoughts again. It's not going to be like there's a lot of again like the garbage men getting signed. The lunch pail king. It's all like D tackles, DNs, backers, linemen. I mean,
safeties.
Yeah, it's not a lot of sexiness out there. I mean, you had Cooper Kupp going to Seattle. Devontae going to the Rams.
Javonte Williams going to Dallas.
Yep. Then Dowdle went to Carolina, and Miles Sanders went to Dallas too, or where the hell did he go?
I don't know. If I'm being honest, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention.
Again, you got a lot on your plate, so I mean, it's not like you pop on old NFL Network or whatever early in the morning and you just fucking pour yourself a cup of coffee and push shit off the desk and like, okay, let's go.
No, I mean Denver's been pretty active. It's been nice to see. Dre Greenlaw was a big ad if he can stay healthy.
Yep.
I can't remember the safety that they signed. I've lost his name. And I didn't come prepared because I didn't write any shit down. And then they sign a.
You got Engram too.
Yeah, he was the other. I will call it upgrade comparative to last year. So it'll be interesting to see what Denver does in the draft, though. I think they're going to go tight end. Or they'll go receiver, but they won't. I don't think they'll draft a receiver in the second round. They may try and get a steal of a deal later on in the draft because they don't have a draft pick until the second round. So they have nothing in the first, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. I mean, it's been pretty busy as far as the free agency is concerned. I mean, I've seen a lot of posts on Instagram. I've seen a few things kind of come up on my Google newsfeed, but again, I mean, I knew Cooper Kupp left. I know that there's speculation about McCaffrey. Of course, and Aaron Rodgers is all over the freaking place right now.
As long as he lands in Pittsburgh.
Well,
do you really want a 41-year-old quarterback?
Yes, I do. I want a disaster.
About 5 minutes of the March 18th episode of the IRP. bookmark this. We'll come back to this in mid-November.
He played like shit for the Jets. Granted, his first year
I wouldn't.
didn't last very long, but he played like garbage last year.
I wouldn't want anything to do with him.
He's going to
I'd
end up in
rather-
Minnesota. Watch. He's going to end up in Minnesota.
And that's
He's going to do exactly the same thing that fucking Brett Favre did. He's going to end up in Minnesota.
And I there's a lot of Vikings fans like at the store that work. Most of them in the meat department, and they are dead set against Rodgers. I said, you know what? Then you know what's going to happen. You're going to get him because that's what the Vikings fans get. You get.
Well, and look, if I'm being honest, you know, supposedly, allegedly, Denver and Rodgers had a deal a few seasons ago.
Yep.
Before he signed with the Jets. And I'm not sure exactly like what transpired. Again, allegedly. And I'm sure a lot of it had to do with, you know, inking pen to paper and whatever, or maybe there was some language in the contract that Aaron didn't like, whatever it is. But at that point, you know, even at his age, Peyton Manning was no spring chicken when he signed with Denver.
No,
What he did in Denver. He brought him another Super Bowl. They went to 2. He broke all sorts of records one season. You know, so it's like I wasn't opposed to it. But, you know, after the debacle of what it was with the Jets, I'm kind of glad it didn't happen. Granted, again, first season, you know, injury out all year. Like, let's be fair.
Mhm.
But, you know, he did not look like the Aaron Rodgers that everybody comes to expect of Aaron Rodgers this past season. He looked undecisive, shaky. Like, I don't know.
like time had passed him by.
It's something, you know, and I don't want to like attribute it to the same thing with like Russell Wilson. Like, I still stand behind, like, I still think Russell Wilson has some sort of nagging injury that nobody wants to accept or put out there or whatever. Because I'm not saying that Russell Wilson is like a top 5 quarterback, but, you know, top 15 quarterback, was fairly consistent for a lot of seasons in Seattle. And then all of a sudden you forget how to play football. Indecisive. You can't hit your receivers. Like you've got fucking delay of games like consistently. Like, and it could have been off the field shit, you know, with his wife and all that other kind of shit and his brand and all the other kind of crap that's what he was focused. It could be a multitude of things. But a part of me thinks like he has some sort of nagging injury that nobody's bothering to talk about, or he's keeping under wraps or something. I mean, he didn't do bad in Pittsburgh. He did better in Pittsburgh than he did in Denver.
Well, yeah, that bar wasn't set real high either. I mean,
So, like, you got to steal in that sense. He played extremely well when he was on the field. And for the amount of money that you paid him, like, he got you a few wins. I mean, that was the steal of the offseason as far as I'm concerned. He served his purpose. We'll say it and we'll leave it at that.
I don't think they should have took out Justin Fields. I think they should have let him take a shot.
But
And where's Justin Fields now?
Not there.
Well, we got Mason Rudolph back.
but as he goes off camera.
Yep, we got him back.
And I still stand behind this. Like, teams have a tendency to give up on rookie quarterbacks too soon. And I'm not talking about those who actually get drafted and start. Like, because there are instances in which you draft a rookie quarterback, you still kind of under the wing of the starter. Starter gets hurt, rookie comes in, plays like shit, let's say, and before you know it, they're moving on. Like, these guys aren't even given a chance. I mean, you look at last season, Caleb wasn't horrible, right? Jaden Daniels was the anomaly, and so was Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very rarely do you have situations in which you have 3 top quarterbacks that played pretty damn good in their rookie season.
And Drake May didn't do horrible.
He didn't do bad either. And didn't Mixon play in the last game of the season wherever he was?
Who?
Joe Mixon.
Well, he's a running back, so.
No, there's a guy with the last name of Mixon. I swear it is. But I don't know who he plays for.
Penix
Drawing a blank.
Penix did okay. He flashed. Oh, Milton, yeah.
Milton, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, LA Pats.
Yeah, he was, because May kept having issues when he'd scramble and get popped and concussions and a hamstring or a quad or whatever, but that's sort of like the one that was it a couple of years ago that Detroit drafted. It's like, yeah, these aren't guys that are, again, the old SNL adage from the early 80s, the Joe Piscopo era. This is like not ready for primetime players. Yeah, you're doing well in the preseason, but that's usually against guys that are special teamers that are playing safety, corner. They're not usually out there on the field playing those positions in an actual game. These are their natural positions, but they're not. So, I mean, yeah, you can have a 22 for 30 game, 257, 3 touchdowns, but when the pass rush is Vinny and I, and Steve is the middle linebacker, if you're not doing that well, then I've got some questions for you.
Well, like you said, Penix was okay. We didn't get to see anything out of McCarthy.
No.
So we don't know. But when you look at that, that's what? 6 guys? 5 guys? What? Nix, Daniels, Williams, Penix.
Yeah, because there's 6 in the first round. May, Daniels, Williams were the 1, 2, 3. Then
so 6 guys doing fairly good. That's not normal in the realm of the NFL. So it goes to show you, like, if teams needed a quarterback, this past draft was the one in which to go for it, because what do you got? Shador and what? Is it Cam Ward? Is that who it is this year?
I know people are. I like Jackson Dart if you give him a year.
I don't
but
know who that is.
that's a Ole Miss QB.
Okay.
But we've talked about that, like the draft stuff. We've talked about that in the NFL preview episodes. It isn't like McNair getting drafted by the Oilers and you have Crystal Chandelier as your starter. Not a great starter, but at the same time, it's like he showed competency. Again, this is sort of like a Scott Mitchell type caliber back in the day where
Brad Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, just somebody, he'll throw 4,000 yards because you have the pieces, you have the offense, but And that's why his nickname was Crystal Chandelier. I mean, you hit him, and it's pretty much the Stan Humphries against New England, where you ask him, how many fingers am I holding up, and he says blue. It doesn't do well for him. So, and McNair started that final game for the Oilers because I don't remember if they were already eliminated or they were already like you have now. If you sew up your division or whatever it was, it's like, okay, why are we playing our starters? So we don't need to play like the main guys. Have somebody get rolled up on. What's going on? What's going on? So and again, you're paying the quarterback not. Again, it's not as much as like Sam Bradford or like Sanchez. When there's those escalating salaries where it's like you're getting more than somebody in like their second contract of a proven contract. It's more manageable now. Again, still outrageous, but I mean it's not as just mind-numbingly stupid.
Yeah, it's not Jamarcus Russell money.
No, you're not going out there and submarining the world and eating submarine sandwiches.
No, bologna sandwiches, butter sandwiches for the next few years.
Or sticks of butter or whatever. You just it's changed in that regard, so it's not as pertinent where you need to get that quarterback out there because that's like your highest paid player. You ready? Are you not? Doesn't matter. Going in. So, but then there's still pressure from fan bases. Okay, you look at Washington, the Redskins. The last how many years have been shit, and then Daniels. It's perceived that he comes in and does everything and makes them better. He did a lot of that, but again, a lot of that's a defense. You look at Bobby Wagner coming in too.
It's as we always say, it's a team sport. It's not one player making a difference. It's and not to mention watching the games. That also makes a world of difference. But you had Galley, you had Jaden, make it to the postseason. Denver made it to the postseason with a rookie quarterback. That usually doesn't happen. And of course, like Denver looked like shit, but like in all fairness, like they weren't prepared. It wasn't one team or like one player's fault or they weren't prepared.
No.
But, in all fairness, I think it would have been cool to see Washington in the Super Bowl. Because it'd be the first time I'm pretty sure the first time a rookie quarterback would actually have made it to the Super Bowl. Now, you could probably go back to, the AFL days and like way back when, and that may be different, but like from an NFL perspective, I'm pretty sure that he would have been the first. But, it didn't happen. At least the team they lost to ended up winning, right? Maybe that's something they could look forward to. Maybe.
Yeah, at least Kansas City didn't win. Now we need Philly not to be there too. If it is again, it's like if the Phillies go there in the World Series, I'm okay. I don't want to see the Flyers ever do anything. I hate Tortorella. He's a fucking idiot. 76.
How you really feel, Dave?
I don't know if we've got time. We're coming up on the 20-minute mark.
There's always time. Well, maybe I may pass the fuck out.
76ers, the whole trust the process bullshit. I mean, again, I get where you're trying to build up. I think it was Embiid, but again, you've seen how that works. None of these guys can fucking take 10 steps without like tearing an ACL. And the Eagles, again, I don't mind. I don't
Smile at
mind
the
them
camera.
other than the fans being dicks to like other fans. When again, there's no reason to do it. It's not like people are egging them on, but then they're the ones too. If you get egged on because your team's losing, they're gonna be sour grapes and pits moaning too. It's like, come on now. Just go eat a Philly cheesesteak and be happy.
Drink a beer. Drink a
Yeah.
Yingling.
Yeah. So again, just I hope Detroit or Washington was in there, Baltimore, because again, I think the tiresome part of it is you go the whole year and you hear the same shit about like Lamar Jackson and all that. It's like, well, no, these guys aren't good. Well, when you've got the machine like fucking Mahomes and the Chiefs, it's tough to get over that. See? It's not just me, Steve.
I wasn't.
Fucking
I
Tortorella
wasn't. I
fucking
wasn't inferring anything based on your statement.
he is a prick.
Well, then that means you and him should get along just fine. Like, what the fuck?
I think they're related.
I guess
That's
there's a difference in the prickness.
He is, yeah, he's just a. I think if somebody gets on his bad side, he's vindictive to like.
Nobody's worse than Babcock. Brilliant coach, but after Chelly said what he did to him, he benched him during the game for the Winter Classic. He called him somebody and they brought him beer. He was drinking a 6. He goes, I'm not going back out there. So I'm going to sit here and enjoy watch the game. And it's friggin' Chris Chelios, probably top 10, top 20 defenseman of all friggin' times.
Top 10, definitely.
Arguably. I like to leave a wide breadth of.
I get it because there's a lot of significant defensemen over the years.
Yeah,
but
like Bobby Orr would be uno.
Who?
Robert Orr.
I don't know who that is. Does he ride like a 10 speed? Is that the guy?
Was he from Sydney, Alaska? I don't know.
He may as well be.
But I mean,
See, and then you have somebody like me who would put Sergei Zubov in the top 10 of all time.
Top 30. You really have to think about it. Like
Top 42 at least.
top 50. You have to think back to all the defensemen that played since the beginning of the NHL.
Yes, but I also put it into context of what he did for Dallas.
True.
Without Sergei, there was no freaking Stanley Cup.
This is hashtag facts.
So that's where I kind of look at things from a ranking perspective.
You have to, yeah.
So it's
Now,
no
for
different
me,
with with baseball, basketball, any sport. Without Terrell Davis in Denver in the 90s, there would have not been back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Talk to anybody. Well, talk to any Denver fan, and they will most all agree with me. No TD, no Super Bowls. So,
Paul Coffey probably changed the culture in Pittsburgh almost as much as Mario did. So, in my opinion, Paul Coffey's top 10. Lindstrom, or Ray Bork.
Well, we can do a top 5 next week of our top 5 NHL defense.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not the normal top 5 though that we've been doing as of late.
This is true, but
Wow, he actually didn't go off camera. Usually when he we're going to drop him down briefly.
yeah, the Sixers are just again, you sign Embiid, it's like the Zion damaged goods. Zion at least seemingly gets in the games, and again, if he could just get his weight under control, and at some point somebody's gonna be like, this is what you're going to do to get in condition, because
he's like Luka. He must like his beer.
I think he does like cheesy puffs or cheesy poops or something, because I mean, man, that guy just, I know, yeah, I've seen the reports of like he's the lowest he's been in X amount of years for weight, but in the other thing is, I know you guys don't play fantasy basketball. It is mind-numbingly maddening this last move, where you have people that are out. I'm like, why is this fucker out? I mean, nothing happened. For rest purposes. I've got Walker Kessler in a couple leagues. That was the pick, or the guy they picked, and then added to the Timberwolves added to like the Rudy Gobert deal, big center out of Auburn. And he when he's out there, it's like a poor man's Andre Drummond, a rich man's point-wise Ben Wallace, but a poor man's rebounds Ben Wallace. You're not getting 22 to 25 rebounds. You're getting, I mean, he can put up them numbers, but it's usually like a 15-15 and then throw in some blocks. And I'm like, that's, for a center, that's fucking huge. And he'll play a game, out the next for rest.
For rest.
That's it. I swear to fucking God, it just says for rest purposes. I say you didn't play like an 8 overtime game on the top of fucking Mount Kilimanjaro. You played a game against the fucking Raptors where you beat them by 20. How much rest do you need? Did you walk to the next fucking stadium like 200 miles away, 600 miles away, 800? What the fuck? You're getting paid how much? So the Sixers having Paul George, which I wouldn't have paid him $10 to fucking play. Joel Embiid, who fucking can't walk 10 feet without like breaking something.
Now, Dave, if you were the owner of an NBA franchise, you would pay $10 for a player. It would but you would turn that extra fundage into some sort of superstar.
Hell, the Red Wings bought Chris Draper for $1.
I mean, come on, let's be like, if we're gonna play armchair quarterback here. I know, not the right analogy, but you get my point. As an owner, $10, even if he gets you 6 points a game and a half an assist, like for $10, that's all right.
I'm trying to think how many games. I think they said Paul George played in 41 games this year. Half the games. Making like 50-something million.
Again, for $10, all would be well.
For $10, but
it's not $10. I mean, I get it.
And then you don't have continuity. You can't build up your continuity. You're bringing these people in. You're interjecting like other. You have to get the lowest rung type players in there, and well, okay, this guy signs like a minimum. This guy signs a minimum, which varying degrees of minimums. Again, somebody's been
There's
around
no-
for 8 years. That's like a $5, $6, $8 million contract. But somebody that's been around for a year or two, it's not as much. But you're still, you can never mesh. You can never build shit because your fucking core is. Oh,
Yeah, well, you could be the Mavericks and completely freaking screw you.
oh. But that would be the other team. You trade Luca, and again, Anthony Davis. Here's the asterisk. When healthy,
He's a superstar.
is a dominant player.
And he proved it early on in his first game until he fucking got hurt.
What is on the court in Dallas? Is there like grease? Is there like
I don't know.
spikes or barbed wire, or is this like ECW? What the hell's going on? Because it's like, okay,
Now you got
I get
Kyrie out.
PJ Washington comes back, and then like he gets hurt again. But then they had to drop him, I think, this week, and he came back and had a good game. But I'm just like, well, when will he get hurt again? I mean, everybody's fucking hurt.
Kyrie's fucked up.
It's
Which,
just
in all fairness, like nobody should have been surprised that was going to happen because
No.
Luka gone, increasing his minutes means he's on the court that much more.
Mhm.
More opportunity to get hurt. Hello. Like, what a fucking concept.
Mhm. And they're close to not like being able to fill a team.
Yes, but here's the thing, Ed. Clusterfuck of the front office only became known this season. Over the past couple seasons, they were trying to get piece parts to win a championship, and they got close. Over the last 3 seasons, they missed the postseason once. I mean, I know that that's not much in the scheme of things,
Yeah.
but still, you make it to the postseason, you make it into the next round 1 year you miss, and then of course, you make it to the finals. But like, again, the clusterfuck of the front office did not come to fruition until this season, and their dumbassery, dumbfuckery, whatever word you want to use. Like, you don't trade a freaking 20-year-old, 28, 20, however the fuck old Luka is. 25, 26, whatever. He's still in his fucking 20s.
Yeah.
For somebody in their 30s. Like, you don't do that.
And then you don't get like first round picks, like loading them up. You don't get every first round pick you can.
This isn't baseball. Like, baseball, you can get away with trading a younger guy for a proven veteran
Mhm.
that's older. That works. Football, it kind of works in certain situations, depending on position. But basketball, you don't trade your franchise player. I mean, you don't. You don't.
No, it.
But I digress. I can sit here and bitch until I'm blue in the face. It ain't going to make a damn bit of fucking difference. The Mavs are terrible. And to a degree, they were kind of bad even when Luka was here anyways. They did not look like the team of last year who made it to the finals. Like, they were bad. Okay, they weren't bad, but they were mediocre.
And there again too, injuries. They fucking so many injuries that you give up how much for Gafford from the Bullets or the Wizards, and then the first round pick there. He's hurt most of the year. PJ Washington, again, I think you gave something to Charlotte there. Solid when he plays, real solid. And nothing. Hurt. Play for 10 games, out. 10 games, out. 10 games, 4 games, 2, out. Fucking out after one after another.
But it was no different with Luka. I mean, Luka missed a lot of time over the past few seasons too. So, like, again, this show was not meant to be about basketball, but
Well, we at the very end it's waste. So
that was your catch all, Dave.
technically, yeah, it's so yeah, just the rest aspect of everything and basketball and going back to how many times did you see that? And again, I want to go back. I got to look at box scores. I understand fully. Hey, let's say the Bucks were first place at Cleveland. They're going to start resting their guys. Like maybe in 4 or 5 games once they clinch that first round or the number 1 seed. I understand that. I understand, like, hey, Darius Garland, Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, those guys won't be playing every game, maybe not any, depending on, again, if they missed enough to not qualify to 65 games for like the all NBA team, the all defensive team, whatever other awards that you can get. I understand that, but when it's Utah, and again, I know you're trying to tank, don't say you're not. When Walker Kessler's going in or coming out for a rest, Iman quickly for the Raptors. Oh, he's rest purposes. He's out. Really? It's tiresome.
Really?
Again, I'd like to miss work because I can't come in here, guys.
Yeah, I need rest.
I'm out rest purposes.
Yeah. How well would that work in the real world, right?
That's what I mean. It's
of course, you mentioned the whole tanking. What I find interesting, going back to the 80s in the early 90s, with as bad as the Dallas Mavericks were,
cool.
Why in the fuck did they not ever grab some first round picks from a lottery perspective? I think they've had like 3 first round picks or 3 number 2 or 3 number 1s in their entire existence. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Roy Tarpley was like the last one.
I think you even looked that up.
If I did, it would have been some time ago. But like 2 or 3 like number 1 picks. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Tarpley was the last one. I don't know. Where's the research department?
Occupied.
Stop working.
I harken back.
Work for the show.
I harken back to what is it, the Weber year, the 93.
93, 94.
Because that year, I mean, there was a bunch of teams that were just dog shit. Obviously, you had. I don't. That's the thing. I don't think Golden State was like horrible, and I don't think Orlando was the worst. Because I want to say Dallas and Philly. Probably the Timberwolves would probably be the top 3 that I think Orlando moved up. Orlando moved up in the draft. I'm trying to remember how it went. Orlando and Golden State moved up, and everybody else moved back. It's really fucking. I think was that the year they were like 9-73, or was that like early or late 70s, early 80s? There's a Philly team. I think in that early 90s that was just repugnant. I mean, just awful. But yeah, you have Mashburn.
Okay, so here you go. I had to go back all the way to 1981 for a number 1 pick, and that was Mark Aguirre.
And
They've only had one number 1 pick. And they took Jason Kidd with number 2.
Well, yeah,
So they-
3 years in a row. You had Jimmy Jackson, top 5. Jamal Mashburn, top 5. Jason Kidd, top 2. So, I mean, right there, you should be like, okay, that should somehow translate into something positive, and it didn't.
Yeah, because Jimmy and Jamal were 4, both.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't know this because, like, I normally don't pay attention to the draft. Dallas drafted freaking Trey Young.
Yeah, that was the Luka deal. Where Atlanta drafted Luka and they flipped him in picks or whatever. But you guys also drafted Robert Tractor Trailer and traded him for Dirk Nowitzki, so to Milwaukee. So you came out a little ahead in that deal.
So yeah, 1 number 1 pick in the entire history of the franchise. And in the 80s and 90s, again, they were terrible. They were terrible.
You had a couple years, I think, Rolando Blackman. And again, Tarpley and Adrian Dantley maybe before like Tarpley.
So you had Mark Aguirre, Rolando Blackman, Derek Harper. Like, they had some core guys during that era. Like, they weren't terrible, but like they were usually like
a 6-7 seed, and they were out quickly in the playoffs in like the mid to late 80s.
But again, like, how is it that no number 1 picks in the lottery? Like, how is that? That blows my mind. And yet all these other fucking teams have had multiple.
Number 1s.
Multiple. Like, I don't get it. But I digress. And I would say it's not waste. It's shit. It's excrement.
I only had so many quote unquote characters to work with at the end of that title, so I couldn't put shit in there. I don't know how that would have affected the algorithm. Excrement didn't fit. So.
I'm not saying Sam Perkins was bad. Again, like, Dallas had decent players in the late 80s and early 90s. But again, in that era, you had the Pistons, the Celtics, the Bulls, the Jazz, the 76ers, the Suns, like
the Lakers.
I hate the Lakers, so I wasn't including them on purpose. But you, like, those were the teams.
Good.
Yeah, because of Clyde the Glide. But you,
and,
like,
Terry.
those were the teams.
Who'd you just say, Dave?
There's Terry Porter.
No, who was Clyde the Glide? Was on
Drexler, Portland. And then he went to Houston.
Houston had Olajuwon. I mean,
Well, they had the Twin Towers. They had Lajuan and Sampson.
yeah. I mean,
Houston was in the mix. San Antonio was even in the mix a little bit.
Because you had the Iceman still trickling around. So
basketball has not been good in years.
But
In my
again,
opinion,
80s, late 80s, 90s, man, like you had dynasties.
and that was the thing when they got rid of McGuire. I don't know if it was like 88,
I don't even remember.
somewhere in there. Because that was when the bad boys really they ramped up. It was you had Isaiah, Joe Dumars, the Microwave,
Lambeer.
Lambeer. I think it was John Edwards. I can remember a big black dude. The
John
center.
Sally.
Well, it's Spider, but there's John Edwards. He was a veteran, big mustache, and he just looked like a guy you'd see at the corner, maybe peddling something. And it's just like that dude looks like he's trouble. So, that's that again. It's like
James
saying
Edwards. You got Jeff and Scott both saying James Edwards.
I was gonna say James Edwards. Oh, I was close again.
You weren't far off. I wasn't far off on the Milton Mixon. I mean, come on.
No. Well, when he said Joe Mixon, I'm like, that's a running back. But
yeah, for the Bengals, yes, I remember that, but still, I knew it was close to that.
Yes, I will give you that. But yeah, a lot of those trades too didn't seem to it's not like today where it bears fruit. You'd say, okay, I'll take a flyer on an athletic wing and see what he does, give him some run, and they sort of sitting on the bench, sort of like a T-Mac. But now with all the pick swaps and if we trade it, it can't be a lottery pick. It's like I won't even be doing half the deals. I'm like, no, if I'm trading with my 2 to 4 best players, I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, no, if this doesn't convey in 2 years, we get 2 second-round picks. Fuck that. No. It's an unprotected first, and if you don't want to do it, tough shit. And you don't get the player. So back then, you I don't know how much collusion was involved. I'd like to go back to transactions at trade deadlines, but you'd see somebody move and it'd be like, oh, okay. Well, the Clippers traded Loy Vaught for a first round pick. It's like how did that happen? Loy Vaught hasn't been relevant since he played high school and as a sophomore. So stuff of that nature. I mean, it's like once there was a poison, the Tarpley stuff, that pretty much submarine them, and they just I don't know. He had such talent, but he just always was in trouble.
And then what do? You move on from Tarpley.
Mm-hmm.
And then you somehow think it's smart to bring in the Worm. In his prime, there was nobody fucking better at what he did.
No.
But as he aged, he wasn't worth a dime.
No, he didn't. After he was out of Chicago, and you could have somewhat of a controlled environment. You knew you had Jordan. You knew you had Pippen until he went to Houston. You knew you had Phil. It's like you know what? You can make all the money you want. You can fucking do your WCW bullshit and him and Hogan and NWO. You can do that, but when you're here, you gotta make sure you're doing what's best for the team. And they held him accountable there. And when he left, it's like, okay, now you're just goofy. I mean, you're goofy to begin with, but when you don't have people that are gonna like hold you to a higher standard, and everybody can just says, yeah, be you, and then I'm trying to think, what was he? He was on the. Did he marry Madonna for like 10 minutes? I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah, something like that.
He dated her. I know that.
Where they had some like awkward photo session or something. I'm trying to remember what the hell he had on. If it was like if he had like the wedding dress too.
That was for a book signing, if I recall right.
So
You have a question, Vinny. Vinny, you have a question.
Well, you said you have a question. You could be Dave.
No,
You're
no.
me.
I said, Vinny, you have a question. I said your name, sir.
Oh, I didn't hear Vinny. Boston Celtics were my favorite team because of Larry Bird, because he was my favorite player. Orlando Magic when there was Penny and Shaq. I loved that. That was my team. I loved the Bulls. I loved Tony Kukoc, Jordan. Jordan was the ultimate competitor in my eyes. I liked Houston. I liked the Suns. I liked probably every basketball team out there but Celtics were my favorite in Orlando. But I loved Hakeem Olajuwon. I loved watching basketball when I was young. Loved it. College and NBA. My brothers and I would watch it all the time. And my baby brother, he played basketball, and Horace Grant, he wore, I think it was 54.
Yeah.
That's what number my brother wore, and he had the rec specs. And I loved Horace Grant. And there was just so good basketball. They played defense, and everything was, I mean, the 3-pointer was used, but not like it is today. There's no inside game. There's no the big man like Yao Ming and them and Shaq and Dwight Howard. Like Dwight Howard and them, those were the last of the guys I watched. That was probably by 2010, I was pretty much done because the Kobe was gone and Allen Iverson. I mean, there were so many guys that I enjoyed watching. Mikhail Parrish, Magic,
Tree Rollins.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
No, Tree Rollins, a real player.
I'm just.
Come on now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know Tree Rollins, so. I mean, it was good basketball. And now today I try to watch a game. I can't even watch. I used to watch college up until about 3 years ago. And now, I mean, I maybe watched the March Madness, which should be coming up here soon, I think.
Started tonight.
That's when Kenny Goins went to Michigan State. He went to school with the girls, and he was a good ball player, and I enjoyed watching him. I think he's playing in Europe somewhere. Pardon? Better half was chiming in, but I don't know what she said.
The Dahlman boys played at Bram, which again is just south of like Duluth. And I think Isaiah went out to Michigan State. This would have been 2008. 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And I think his brother Noah went out there too. But yeah, that my best friends from high school went to the UMD, but then went out to Michigan State and got his. I got it again. I don't even know what the hell would be a master's. It wouldn't be a master's though. More so for like the, because he manages like a golf course now. More like the green stuff and like whatever out there. But so yeah, follow them a lot. And again, as painful as it is to watch like Tom Izzo offense, still try to support them. Nobody's bigger than Larry or Wade Boggs. Nobody. Ask Johnny Boggs. I think he's got like an Encyclopedia Britannica video series, like 26 volumes on why Larry Bird was smaller in stature and in popularity comparative to Wade Boggs. And even Ted Williams, too. I mean, he goes through like every Boston sports legend in this 26 volume video series. So I would suggest you go and ignore that. Michael?
How we doing? I'm not actually on your screen. I'm on a different tab right now, typing something out.
Just wonderful. How about you? What's work?
Fucking fuck off.
So you're having the week I had last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm home now. My food's cooking. So all is good for the moment.
And yet you just,
how are you all
and
doing?
Yet you decided to join this clusterfuck of a grouping of people.
Well, it's either that or start picking off neighborhood cats.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No, I think that would be hashtag facts in this case.
Yeah, allegedly. Top 5 videos from last week that I missed?
That means I got to go get my list for tonight's snacks.
I have that too.
I told Dave, he sent. I saw the header for the video, and I had it done in like 30 seconds. It took, but I'll be back. I'm gonna go check on my food.
All right.
Honorable mentions. Land of Confusion by Genesis.
That's
With
one
or
of my
Without You by U2. When It's Love by Van Halen. Number 5, a tie. Thriller and Money for Nothing. Four, the Tool trifecta of Schism, Sober, and Anima. Number 3, Alice in Chains Unplugged. When he does Nutshell live, I get chills to this day. Number 2, Guns N' Roses trilogy. Don't Cry, November Rain, and Estranged. And lastly, number 1, Welcome to the Jungle, which pretty much AC/DC doesn't have a lot of videos that I remember, and they're up there for me. And I was thinking Metallica's One. That's another one that hits hard. I can't remember any Judas Priest videos, but I dug Priest too. But those are the ones. Def Leppard always made a good video.
Hmm.
Poisons was very flashy. I'm trying to think. I wasn't very big into the crew. I don't know, just Tommy and Nikki and what's his name, Vince Neil. They're just. I like Mick Mars. Mick Mars was a hell of a guitar player. Still is a hell of a guitar player, and Pantera. I can't think of any. I can't think of videos, specific videos, but again, 5 Minutes Alone, Walk, Cowboys from Hell, anything on that album. Van Halen, you could think about Jump is classic.
The ones that was what I was going to go to, Van Halen, but again, because I'm such an activist, the two that when you're ripping through all those that I know I forgot to put on some sort of list, Van Halen right now, because you had to read it.
Yes.
You had to read the fucking thing, and it's a lot of shit that, again, you don't think of like the Van Halen boys, you think of Hagar putting out there. This isn't something like, oh man, this is going to be something that's going to be in a video for them. But when they start popping up statistics,
Yeah.
not just like, oh, right now somebody's drinking like a case of Coke. No, it's fucking like hard hitting shit for the
Yeah.
time. And then Soul Asylum, Runaway Train,
Oh, that's another one.
which I completely again.
I just got chills.
When you start rattling off stuff, I'm like, fuck, I forgot about that one, because that one was like, it's not just you're sitting there and watching people do whatever, like chicks like twirl tits and wiggle butts, or like some adventure like Axl Rose is on. It's like, holy fuck, this kid's been missing since 88, 86.
Pearl Jam's Jeremy.
Just yeah.
Smells
I mean,
like Teen Spirit.
I'm not a Pearl Jam fan, but again, that video, it's like, okay.
Living Color, Cult of Personality.
What do you mean, CM Punk's theme song?
Faith No More, epic.
You want it all, but you can't have it.
Yeah, that'd be it.
What is it?
What? My again, one of the good friends from here fucking loved that song. That was one of the mixtape songs for the basketball court.
After the one.
Aha, Take On Me. Remember that video?
Yeah, Rage did have some good videos.
Yeah.
Really,
Bulls on Parade, most notably.
Yeah. Aerosmith, the trilogy with Liv Tyler and what's her name? Crazy and all those. What was her name?
Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, Alicia Silverstone.
Hello, Paul.
Anthrax, Bring the Noise.
But that's
Aerosmith.
Like, I knew we could go on with like the 8 million, because there's so many that like popped you in the head when you watched them again, and stuff like Chris Isaac, like The Wicked Game. It wasn't anything that I wanted to listen to, but you saw this, like, again, as you're a like 10, 12-year-old kid and you see like a supermodel basically naked, you're like, huh, what's going on down there?
Billy, Prodigy. Yeah. What's
something that you wouldn't have seen on MTV, but Five Finger Death Punch, The Bleeding.
Billy Idol, White Wedding, Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire.
And again, another one that I don't necessarily enjoy. But the video, and again, because I'm Mr. Somber, REM, Everybody Hurts.
Yep.
Yes.
Because
That's
again,
the one I was trying to remember.
it's something where you have to you can't just sit there and like, oh, this is a nice song. When you watch the video, your attention is immediately grabbed because of verbiage in print form in the video on the screen. Like the light inside of somebody's mind to see what they're saying, what they're saying.
Excuse me.
So those are the ones, again, maybe not necessarily the most popular, not the stuff that like, hey, the song was like one of the best songs out there. Stuff, videos that made you sit there and like take notice, start thinking a little outside the box. And again, they didn't get all the play because again, it wasn't Michael Jackson, it wasn't Madonna, it wasn't Elton John, it wasn't John Cicada, it wasn't whoever the fuck was out there, the Bryan Adams, the Everything I Do it for you. It's not the popular number one song, but it's stuff that when it came on, it's like, okay, I want to read it again because maybe I got fixated on some stat early on, and that just pretty much like stopped me. I'm like, okay, I know that stat's coming up. I'll look away for a moment and then I'll jump back in.
Oh yeah, LA Pats, Cranberries, anything with the Cranberries.
Well, Bad Wolves redo of Zombie.
Yeah. Bone Thugs and Harmony, First of the Month, and Crossroads. Blues Travelers, The Hook.
Anything Bruce Traveler and John Popper, I'm all on.
I love Blues Travelers.
Counting Crows was another one I enjoyed too.
Yeah, Counting Crows. Huh?
All the Blondie videos from like the early 80s, late 70s. Springsteen's Born in the USA and
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah. Born in the USA and Glory Days.
Yeah, Tom Petty did have some wicked stuff.
Cameo, Word Up.
Petty's the shit.
The Cars with Paulina Porskova. All those videos.
I like her.
Scorpion.
He had to go on video just to say that too.
I did.
Cinderella's Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. And Gypsy Road.
Meatloaf.
Scorpions was another one too.
Yeah, Scorpions.
And then
here's one. Remember
Meatloaf
Crash
has great
Test
videos.
Dummies?
Do what, Michael? Hold on.
I said Meatloaf had some great videos.
Yes.
well, he dumped the money in. You knew that because I mean he's like,
Mm-hmm.
Remember Crash Test Dummies?
Yes.
That was a crazy one. Oh, She Sells Sanctuary and Love Removal Machine, Firewoman, The Cult. Cypress Hill, Insane in the Brain. Damn Yankees.
well, that's not even a real band. That's
But that was Styx and them, and that was
everybody. That was everybody.
But the video for Take Me High Enough, that was a epic video at the time.
All I think of when I hear that, and it used to be one of the whatever, like the CD sets, the infomercial ones, and that would always be one of the songs they'd play, like the video clip, and I'm like, oh, it's Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Because it looks just like them fucking in the. Again, I don't remember if it's not Ted, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's Ted Nugent.
So again, I don't know who is who in there, but I'm like, it literally looks like Bret Hart playing fucking guitar in the video, and I'm like, this is fun.
Devo's Whip It. That's a classic video.
But Scorpions, The Wind to Change, and then Boys to Men,
End of the Road?
that one. When they put like Jim Henson in like the original one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that hits because Jim Henson is great.
Ooh,
That's a great one too.
Dexy's Midnight Riders. Come on, Eileen. That's a good video.
I don't know. It's a hairy dude dancing around in jean overalls. I don't know. That's a great video.
But it was good though.
Limp Bizkit breaks stuff just for the cameos.
Yeah.
Well,
Eddie
nothing.
Biscuit was pretty good.
Freak on a Leash, Corn.
That was one that I should have put that one on my list.
Because when
DMX.
I thought about that one after.
When that thing came out, I'm like, because I remember watching Korn, I think the first time on, what the fuck was it called? The Box?
Yeah, the Box. Yeah.
Because that was something where it was once in a while it showed up on like the cable back in the day, and like
You
Korn,
paid
like,
99 cents for a video to play.
Because what, like life is peachy? Oh fuck!
Well, I would venture to say the song that would have been played though was "Blind."
Maybe again if it's been
Ooh,
we're put
there's
30 years, but yeah, that
in the distance.
Manson's Beautiful People video was insane.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. DMX Rough Riders Anthem. That was a good one. Eddie Money's 2 Tickets to Paradise.
see, I'm Eddie Money for a different one, and I don't know. I don't think there's a video, but we're going songs.
Take Me Home Tonight.
That is a great song.
Yeah.
And that's well before the movie. That was one of the card shop guys that's about my age burned me a CD. I think it was like I still have 02 or 03.
I love LA.
Oh, so many like just like bangers on there then that still hold to this day. That at some point we'll have a top 5 songs and they'll be top 5. Like,
oh shit! I don't think.
But it'll be categorized. It won't be like overall. That's too difficult. Like top 5 like hype up songs for you. Like either then or now get you just fucking. Again, we're not gonna go headbanging because then we're gonna fucking fall apart or moshing.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know.
I was at one of those recently.
Eric Clapton's Tears in Heaven, the unplugged version. Oh yeah, Jump Around by that's another classic.
Yeah, that's overplayed for me.
Was that Crisscross?
No, House of Pain.
Oh,
Outcast B.O.B. Bombs Over Baghdad. That's a great video. There's a lot of color in that video.
Yeah. On
George
point.
Michael used to make a good video. Think about all his videos. They were always pretty cutting edge at the time for.
Well, yeah, you had
Meredith, do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry?
Yes,
Yeah.
she does.
I don't think you need to ask her that. That's a pretty much universal.
Yeah, that's pretty standard, ain't it? Oh, had to the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Knock on wood. That was Duran Duran's Hungry Like the Wolf. There's another good one.
I like Shout.
I was surprised nobody had Aha's Take on Me, because
I said that today.
That video was way ahead of its time.
I said you weren't here, Michael. The Land of Confusion by Genesis.
That was on my list. That was actually number one when Dave gave the topic. That was the very first one I wrote down.
That video was so far out there when it came out.
Yep.
Um,
Of course, crazy enough, like y'all are all probably think I'm crazy, but I used to
I
freaking
had-
love red wine.
yeah,
UB40.
40.
Yeah, but yep.
The
Yeah,
Fine Young Cannibals. She drives me crazy.
No,
See,
I
a lot of
couldn't
that
stand his
stuff
voice.
is, I'm like, I love that dude's voice. But again, I'm not.
They
gonna listen to
overplayed
him.
it. They
Yeah.
overplayed that song though, man.
Well, I know, but all these songs they overplayed. I mean, that's the thing.
That's why we know him and remember him.
And that's why we like him, because okay, we hated him back then because we heard him too much. Now after X amount of years, it's like, well, I really haven't heard it. I'm like, let me go back, and it's like, okay. And you start listening to him more and more and more. It's like, well, it wasn't bad, but again, when you only play like 20 songs a fucking day, it's
Yeah.
on the radio.
Jane's Addiction, been caught stealing. Remember that crazy ass video? Where
Going to
he was dressed up like a pregnant lady and was stuffing food and stuff.
Yeah, the produce, all the produce.
Yeah. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I hate myself for loving you. I love rock and roll. Julian Lennon's Much Too Late for Goodbye. Remember that where there was a shadow dancing around the whole video?
Much too late for goodbye.
Yeah, it was John Lennon running around like his shadow. That was cool as hell. The Killers videos for like Mr. Brightside and those were some good stuff. Corn, you mentioned Corn.
When I got off the podcast last week, I made Alicia watch the Johnny Cash Hurt video because she had never seen it.
Yeah, it's another one.
Yeah.
For that matter, 9 Inch Nails and all their videos.
Control.
Yeah. Johnny Cash was talking and somebody wrote him a song and he goes, "Son, what's your name?" He goes, "Glenn Danzig." He goes, "Well, nice to meet you, Glenn Danzig." I forget what song it is, but you know, Danzig's mother.
Danzig's mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
LL Cool J's "I'm Gonna Knock You Out." Macklemore's "The Thrift Shop." I remember that when that came out.
Dave and I both had Metallica's one.
Yep. Remember the Madness, Our House? That was another one that was good. All the Biggie Smalls videos before he died. Tupac's California Love with Dre. That was pretty epic at the time.
But I like the other version of California Love. I don't like that version.
Yeah.
That's not my. When I hear that, I'm just like, ugh.
OPP by Naughty by Nature. That was pretty controversial at the time.
Yeah.
This one's for the lowest rung. Oasis. Remember the videos for, Wonderwall and all that came out? Those were huge. Pantera. Phil Collins, too. They said he was like from 80 to between Genesis and his solo career, from like 1980 to 1994, he had like top videos every year. Oh, Primus. Remember them? Jerry was a race car driver, Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Yep.
And the
Those
South
were-
Park theme song.
Yeah. Prince. How many videos did Prince do that were like real cutting edge at the time?
What about Green Jelly?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Queens of the Stone Age?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
no
them.
one- yeah, they had a couple good videos.
That one was overplayed. That first one, I liked the song, but my God, it was everywhere, and it was everywhere immediately. As
And
soon as somebody got a hold of it, it fucking.
right along those lines was Three Doors Down's Kryptonite.
Yep.
I love Three Doors Down. I
So do I.
cannot listen to that song. I hate it so much.
I
But
like that.
Here Without You is an
Overboard.
incredible video.
Yep.
Do you guys remember Bob Dylan's son, Jacob Dylan, the Wallflowers?
Oh yeah.
One of the
That
most perfect
one hit
albums
light.
ever made.
That was one, again, I've appreciated that more as time has gone on, because that was another
Yes.
one that
I-
it played the piss out of, because it's Bob Dylan's son, and let's fucking run
I
it
like-
real ground.
I liked their cover of Heroes.
Yeah. From the Godzilla album. You couldn't buy that song on
It was well, I remember it being used at the end of The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you couldn't buy that song on iTunes unless you bought the whole Godzilla soundtrack. And I love that song, Heroes.
We could be hero. It was a Bowie song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge. There's another classic.
Other Side is my favorite song of theirs.
Yeah, Other Side is good.
Give it away, give it away, give it away.
Oh, Rammstein's Du Hast.
Yes. Their live videos are the best.
Jesus, man, they are fucking off the chart.
Well,
Yeah, that's another one I wouldn't
Boop.
mind.
What is
live.
it? Boop dick?
Yeah.
Freaking busts out with the fucking dildo and shit and smacks the fucking like the guy who
and he's a professional pyrotechnics expert.
Yeah.
Hence the show.
I was just saying, you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's better at it than everybody.
Oh, Robert Palmer's Simply Irresistible. That was when all the girls were all the same.
Oh, I know the video.
Yeah.
uh
Oh,
I remember it.
what was it? Rob Zombie's Thunder Kiss 65.
love that song.
Well, that was White Zombie.
That was White Zombie, yes.
Power Man 5000 Worlds Collide.
That's another good one.
Sarah McLachlan's Angel. I used to play that song to go to sleep when her voice is so melodic to me. I used to put that song on to fall. That and do you guys remember Mazzy Star?
Yep.
I used to have those and I would just put them on repeat, and that's how I fell asleep 30 years ago.
That's how I fall asleep now, is to Johnny Boggs' videos.
Shit, I still fall asleep to fucking the music that I enjoy watching or listening to. Even with it hard and heavy, I can still fall asleep to the shit.
Right now, I'm falling asleep to Bob's Burgers.
Sepultura's Bloody Roots.
If anybody's seen it, Bad Omens Just Pretend is actually pretty intense video.
Soft Cell's Tainted Love. Skid Row's 18 in Life.
That is great. That is a
Bad
good
Omens.
song.
Bad Omens is a newer band, but still.
Sebastian Bach is a wild man.
Oh, Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun. That was a crazy video.
Anything Audio Slave is better than Soundgarden.
Spin Doctors, Two Princes. That was a good one too.
That one was another one that was absolutely played to death.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
because they had the top 5 countdown after like 4 o'clock, maybe 5 up there for the East Coasters on MTV, and that fucker, and then the Whitney Houston shit, and then like the Brian Adams. It was the same like 4 videos, and then once in a while it's sprinkled in something different at 5. But I mean, like the Extreme, More Than Words, the fucking Mr. Big, To Be With You. Those are always the ones that were there.
That's that one's one of my mom's favorite songs ever.
Which one?
Mr. Big.
I thought that's a great tune.
Yeah.
And that's what I never got tired of. I mean, no matter how much it was played, there wasn't like, oh man, this sucks. It was like, whatever.
I'm that way with Brian Adams' Heaven on MTV Unplugged is one of my favorite songs ever. Hence why, I mean, it was played at my wedding. But
Creep and Interstate Law Song by STP.
the whole core album.
Yeah. Well, and Purple for that matter. Stray Cats. Stray Cat Strut. I remember that one was a good one. Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Was Brian,
I like Tears for Fears a lot.
Temple of the Dog, Hunger Strike. So that was Chris Cornell and
Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder. So
no, that was Seattle.
yeah. So we had a soccer game 2 Sundays ago, and I was about to go into the place. It was like 15 till Hunger Strike came on Lithium, and I sat there and I turned it, and I just belted it out. Somebody mentioned Tom Petty. We talked about Tool.
All right, I think we about killed that even from last week.
Mhm.
Moving on. Sorry, Vinny, don't mean to burst your bubble.
So here's a segue. What about snacks this week? And I should have put the. It wasn't like a treat. A treat was something you got like, okay, you get a dilly bar, you get like something once in a great while. Snacks were like more of the, I won't say daily, but more like a daily type of.
More frequent.
Yeah, something that was in the wheelhouse. That wasn't like, again, you get a fucking Aaron Rodgers 1-of-1 like Super Bowl patch thing. That's a treat. You get a Clay Matthews 52 of 99. That again, that's a treat as well, but that's more of a snack in the grand scheme of things. Vinny gets copy number 78 of a card that he really liked.
Loves.
That's more of a snack. Getting copy number 25 of one that he really loves. That's more of a treat.
I will kick it off with the orange push-ups from the Schwan Man.
Those were good.
I would still buy them if the Schwan Man still existed.
And they
have them at Kroger.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
we
just had the ice cream guy.
Yep. I remember the Flintstone ones. They made those.
Yep.
Yep. But I
love those. I remember the Ice Cream Man. That was Master P.
Well, I was referring to like just the ice cream man that drove through the freaking neighborhood. They all sold the same shit.
We've got one that's already been out the last couple weeks because it got warm.
Yep.
And since I live directly next to a park, they go by quite often.
Yeah, prime real estate in that situation.
Yep.
What were the one? My grandfather the guy would pull up and he'd go, "You guys got any them ice cream sandwiches?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Give me the box." We'd sit on the front steps. He goes, "Call your brothers." and we'd sit there and we'd eat freaking ice cream sandwiches. He loved freaking ice cream sandwiches. Good God. He just bought a whole freaking box.
Well, back in those days, I mean, for $1.50, $2, man, that
You
was
were
cheap
eating
to get
good
an
in
ice
the
cream.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you had $5 or $10, like you could fucking buy you and a few friends something.
Yeah.
That was, or you get your ice cream and your smoke bombs and your fucking stink bombs or whatever.
Your books and matches.
What are those ones that they have them in chocolate and they're in
Well, you had,
strawberry?
yeah, the strawberry shortcake one is phenomenal.
Those are good.
Oh, like the good humor.
Yeah. And then a good stick every once in a while. The ones that ain't even ice cream. They're like an ice cream cone.
Oh, okay.
Drumsticks?
Yeah, drumsticks.
Drumsticks are awesome.
The Canadians call them sticks.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just shorten it up.
there's a box of them in my mom's freezer at all times. Her
Oh,
husband
chocolate
loves them.
eclair, yeah. Remember the real simple ones we used to get at school when they used to give us here's your treat for today. It was vanilla ice cream, and then it had like chocolate, a hot fudge in the middle.
And
And
the paper
those
pull tab
were-
top.
Yep, they have them at Kroger. I seen them the other day. I almost bought them, and just ate the whole damn thing myself. But that would just be gluttonous.
We've got those at the store. I got like a party pack that's got, I think, 24 in there. And then there's a 6-pack. There's a chocolate malt to birthday party. And then we got the ones, I think it's chocolate with a swirl and strawberry with a swirl, like 12-pack.
Yep.
And then a just straight vanilla one with the 12-pack as well. So
Oh, they have ones with caramel in them too. Klondike bars. Oh, Klondike bars are good. Those were the prequels. So if that's vintage or pre-war, then the modern day Twix and Snickers bars are the modern day ultra modern. To quote Crypto
just
Grip
like-
down there.
We took Michael's number 5 and just like
That's what we do here at the
Just
IR.
went crazy.
Yep.
not always.
Well, because they put those stipulations, how he was talking about it, I actually did have something from the ice cream man on my list. And that was the baseball glove with the gumball that would
Okay.
say, you're always hoping to get the one that said home run.
Yep.
You know, that was one I either got that or the cone with the same pink ice cream with the gumball at the bottom.
Yep.
Oh, I
Screwball.
remember those.
Screwball. Yep.
Screwball.
Yep.
Yep. That was always one of my favorites. Either the orange push-ups, I call them push-ups.
Mhm.
The screwball or anything that had gumball. So like it could be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or anything that had a freaking gumball in it.
Yep.
So, but that like the ice cream man didn't make my list as far as snacks because like to me ice cream is not it wasn't a snack per se.
You're not living right.
Didn't get the ice cream man very often, so that's why it
Well-
didn't make the list.
Well, I
And-
grew up on the Air Force Base. That thing went around religiously.
Well, I'm not saying it didn't go around.
Nothing up
I'm
here.
not saying it didn't go around.
No.
All the time. All the time. Sometimes twice a day.
Yeah.
Of course, it would be different trucks, but still, like during the summer,
Yeah, the one that
All the
goes
time.
through here, they typically come through 3, 5, 7, and 9. So I'm sure they just make a loop around Sedalia,
probably.
but every couple hours it'll be back by same one.
Yeah, we usually had 2 different ones, but they were frequent stops. But it wasn't as consistent as clockwork like it was for you.
You know,
But yeah, that was always the signal when you knew it was getting warmer.
Start hearing
Start-
that song.
Yep, start hearing
Everybody has the same song.
it. Yep.
Keep waiting for Big Worm to pull up, and he never does.
Right? Big perm.
Yep, Big Perm.
Oh.
Play with my money, you play with my emotions.
I'll go second. And again, I always go back to we didn't have a ton of money, so banana chips.
Okay. Dried banana. Okay.
Again, that's where when I say a snack, that's where my mind goes because it wasn't that I was not living right.
Yeah.
It's just the lowest rung had me below the lowest rung at the time for the available options. And again, that's what you think of like now. It's like you go down like a snack aisle, and I'm like,
Banana chips were good though, man.
oh, I know. That's like I'd hammer them out. But it's like you looked and like back then you didn't have 1,500 fucking cookies to choose from. Like the EL fudge things were like just popping off. Like in my part of the world, I remember like the late '80s. I like those ones more than the stuff with the drizzled chocolate or the chocolate bottom or whatever. I wasn't a huge fan of those.
See, I like those over the other ones.
The EL fudge, the double stuff when that came out. Oh, that was trouble. That's still trouble to this day. But I mean, that was.
Going off again.
I know. But yeah, that banana chips, that was a staple of snack time.
So I'll go next. And again, like these are in no particular order because it's hard to like banana pudding snack packs.
Okay.
Like I would like. So for one, almost 100% of the time I had one in my lunch in elementary school. And it like banana is my favorite because like I love bananas. Like I love anything banana. Love it. But it was usually either banana or chocolate. But I preferred banana, even though it was one of those in which sometimes it wasn't always easy to find for whatever reason. At least at Albertsons, which is where we shopped at the grocery store at the time. But yeah, so snack packs.
Off of that, literally my favorite thing, and it always made me happy when I opened my school lunch that my mom packed for me, if it was in there, was a vanilla snack pack and an oatmeal cream pie. And I would smash that oatmeal cream pie up in the vanilla pudding and eat that shit. It's one of my favorite things I remember from childhood. It's on my list.
Well, so Michael's given two. So Vinny, you need to give at least one because Michael's already gone to two. You're on mute, by the way. You're on mute.
The whatchamacallit candy bar.
Correct.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Like now I like Take 5 and a Snickers and a Milky Way and a peanut butter something or another, but that whatchamacallit, like that was when I could go to Nick's newsstand in Republic after church. If I got a candy bar, or I went to Monomart, the guy's last name was Monovich, so it was Monomart. And if I had to get a candy bar, because they weren't common, you could always get Snickers and that at a store, but whatchamacallits were kind of special at the time. And a whatchamacallit candy bar was just, it hit different, as the kids say. And yeah, that was a good one. More than probably any other candy. chocolate wise, or Reese's Pieces. I did enjoy those too, but whatchamacallit candy bar.
Look at Dave.
Oh my lord! I haven't had one in
Yes.
a hot minute, as the kids say.
There's always a couple.
Those things are they're just. Oh, I can taste it right now. With the Rice Krispies in them, and
Caramel and the chocolate, and
yeah.
That's
I almost went with, like, as a kid, snack was a bowl of cereal too, but I felt that too Bob Lewis ish.
yeah, but again, like
I don't want to
it's-
steal his thunder, but I used to eat a lot of cereal growing up.
But that was an easy afternoon snack though.
Yeah.
Like you could eat it fast. Like so it's not wrong to have it on your list, especially if it was something that like you had consistently.
Yeah. Special K was the one my grandma and my grandpa ate cornflakes. So they would get me, like, I would eat Special K cereal and then Chex, Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispies, Honey Smacks.
Lucky
I'm trying to-
Charms and Honey Smacks were the
no
main
Lucky
things in my
Charms.
house.
That
I love-
CC loves.
I love the marshmallows, but you
Yeah.
had to eat it fast, man.
Yeah, Seal used to, when she was a kid, she'd pick out all the marshmallows out of the. We'd give her like a bag of them to eat as a snack, and all that would be left is the cereal part. She ate all the marshmallows. Cheerios before now they taste like garbage.
That's why Honey Nut they got to be Honey Nut Cheerios.
Raisin Bran. I know it sounds crazy, but Raisin Bran was. I loved raisins in the cereal. That was good stuff.
There was no healthy cereal in my house growing up. It was all the sugary shit.
My grandma liked corn. What was it? Corn Pops. The
Yeah.
yellow thing.
Yep.
Oh, honeycombs were good too. I get that every once in a while.
Cocoa Krispies were good.
It was all about Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch in our house.
Captain Crunch.
The Captain Crunch was my dad's, and you weren't allowed to have any. And
Now Captain Crunch would break a freaking tooth on it.
yeah, but I love it.
Yeah.
I didn't really actually care for it as a kid, but I like it now. It's one of my favorites.
So
he's
so-
pretty
so-
much
so-
with the.
So Vinny, are you going cereal for your next one?
No, that was
Technically,
that was sort of the tie at 5. The whatchamacallit candy bar and a cereal.
okay.
so next, and I'll go cereals I had when I were Cheerios, Kicks,
Oh, Kicks, yeah.
Yeah.
New Year Poor if you had King Vitamin.
Don't know
Never
that.
heard of King Vitamin.
Exactly.
We'll take your word for it, Dave.
So I heard something in that diatribe. And again, I'm going snacks. I'm like, because I'm not, again, different I'd say ways to look at it, but this is how I looked at it. Like I said earlier, like stuff you would get, if not every day of the week, but this would be like, okay, your buffer, your 3 o'clock after school, or during the summer, it'd be like 2:30, whatever. Come inside, make sure you're still in the neighborhood, then go on your way. And again, this is like young.
I kind of took it the same way as you did.
So I'm going to go 2 here because Vinny's done a couple of that. Grapes / raisins. That when you said no healthy stuff, that's again when you're like, well, there's Lucky Charms or Fruity Pebbles. Those, I mean, if we got those, holy fuck, it was like amazing because that just wasn't food shelf fucking food. That was, you had a couple bucks in your pocket that were burning a hole in it. And again, when we got to Superior, then it became easier to get. I mean, you didn't go to the store here to go look for food because, like, again, you're 8, 9, or 10. You're not looking. I went to the grocery store and I got a cart or a basket and I'm starting to put shit in there. It's like, no, I'm fucking go there and is there cards? There's no cards. I don't give a shit. So I remember grapes being just a staple, and then raisins too. Not even the box. We got like the canister. Now it's more. I had one, probably ate it, but it's more like a rounded rectangle now.
Is
Instead
it?
of like it used to be the puffs or the corn. What do you call them? The cheese balls, like the circular deal back in the day. I mean, yeah, you just get some, dump them out, and there you were. And I mean, they're good. I mean, people shit on raisins all the time. I know that.
I liked the yogurt covered raisins when I was a kid.
And see, I liked them, but I will still get raisins now where it's just like regular and just fucking mow through them because, again, that's what we had, and that's you get used to what you have, and if you don't want to have it, then you don't have a snack. Then you get to fucking just sort of sit there and look.
Plums and like peaches and stuff like that. Apples.
Always like a bowl of fruit, fresh fruit that was there.
In the summer, that's all we got.
Nectarines and
Nectarine, yeah. The Big Banana is what it was called. It was a produce store. And what's funny is as my brother got older, the ladies that ran it, they just adored my brother, baby brother. And they would just give him, they didn't even charge him. He'd walk in there, he'd play the lotto, and they were like, hey, these are going bad. Do you want them? And he would just come home with tons of fruit. We would eat bananas, cantaloupes, honeydew. In the summer, there was nothing like fresh fruit. So, yeah. And raisins, I love raisins. But people, like you said, Dave, they shit on them because they're just not. I don't like to keep them in the house now because if the dogs get them, somehow, some way, it just worries me. Being nervous that I am. But yeah, I like oatmeal raisin cookie. Ghost and Dryden used to stare at me when I was eating. I was like, nope, you'll die. But I'm going to enjoy this. I love a good oatmeal raisin cookie above almost any other cookie. Love them. You shake your head. You don't know what, as my grandpap would say, you don't know what's good. As he stuck a big foot in his mouth. You know,
I do. Snickerdoodle. That's a cookie.
I just had one of those today. We got them from my uncle when he was here, and there was one left.
Anyways, Dave, you said you had two. You only
He's
said
probably
one.
going to get the other one.
no grapes and raisins.
Well, I would have considered that one.
But that's two different things.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
raisins are just dehydrated
Grapes that have gone bad.
Yeah.
dehydrated grapes.
Dave would make his own.
Yeah, we had a food dehydrator back in the day. No, that would be the two. That just
Okay.
those two.
Okay.
I have.
So I'm like fruit snacks. So like any sort of fruit snack. Always in my lunch typically, but the only thing that sucked is because early on, and I've mentioned this, my mom was a single mom, and we lived with my grandparents. So
Yes.
it wasn't uncommon for the fruit snacks to have to be hidden because I would literally like eat the whole fucking box.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't have them for my lunch. So like my lunch always, like I said, a snack pack, fruit snack, and then of course like a bag of chips and a sandwich when I took lunch. But fruit snacks were a definite staple.
I had Shark Bites fruit snacks on my list.
Those were fucking phenomenal when you got the white shark in there. Oh,
Yep. You wanted that white opaque shark. And then later on they did, it was like the white with teal marble.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Shark Bite fruit snacks were the shit.
Yeah, there was never any consistency. I think it was pretty much whatever was on sale. And I'm being not. I mean, it could have been like Ghostbusters. It could have like anything fruit snack related. If it was on sale, that typically was what was purchased.
And I always liked the fruit roll-ups that had stuff like imprinted on it so you could peel out the pieces.
The peel out. Yeah. I kept it to fruit snacks because like fruit roll-ups was another one, or fruit by the foot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anything along those lines was a staple.
Gushers when they came on with that.
Gushers, yes.
I loved Gushers too, but they were always expensive.
Yep.
And so that's the thing. That was more of a treat.
Ecto Cooler. I wish they still made that shit.
When it came back in like 10 years ago, 12.
Did you buy it by the case, Dave?
I literally bought 10 cases of it. We had, and I mean, it was cheap. It was cheap. I don't know why we had it cheap, but I'm like, I am not gonna not pass this up because, again, at that time, you either got it in like the little box, like the high C regular box, or you got the fucking can, the tomato juice can,
mm-hmm.
the 48 ounce or the 64, whatever. It's like that shit.
Yeah, I don't consider that a snack though, but it's kind of funny. Last time my kid and I, or I don't know if it was the last time or the time before, because they love Hawaiian Punch, all the different flavors.
Yep.
And I had mentioned, I was like, man, I really wish they'd bring back fucking Ecto Cooler. And the fact that
a while ago.
And the fact that it came up.
It's so good. And I don't know what the difference is. I don't know the difference. Just something about it. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was fucking phenomenal. Again, not a snack, but it's kind of funny that we're all like, oh shit. All right, Michael. Number 3.
Well, I have.
Again, not in any particular order, though, Michael.
Well, this is my last one.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
That's on my list. Graham crackers with vanilla cake icing spread on and made a sandwich. I just recently had some a couple weeks ago. My mom made them and sent them home with me. It's like the greatest.
And it didn't make it home. It didn't make it home with you. They're gone by the time you got home.
I did not share them with the wife, which was okay because she doesn't like vanilla canned icing.
Okay.
I'm like, good, more for me.
Right.
But yeah, the soft graham crackers with that icing.
Sounds good.
It's ridiculously good.
Sounds good. All right, Dave.
Here's one that are people probably turn off the fucking stream. But this was like the main part of like the platter I used to get as a kid. Because that's basically in my mind what I'm doing with the snack time. I'll give you honorable mention will be Mr. Freeze. The Freeze Pops. That was something the neighbor lady down the block would give us. But we also ate vegetables out of her garden, like peas, and we ate them. But then, summertime, she goes, here, have a Mr. Freeze Pop. Okay.
If I remember those.
You had meat. You had meat on your snack plate. Well,
not me.
I did. And it was either salami or Braunschweiger.
My wife loves that shit.
But then you had like cheese with it too. It was usually like a sharp cheddar to sort of offset the taste of the Braunschweiger. So like that little melody of Friends. Again,
I'm surprised you didn't go bologna because you talked about like not growing up with not like because bologna was cheap.
it was, but I think we had more of that in Superior because and I don't remember. It used to be the bologna that had like the little red thing around it that you had to remove.
Yep, I remember those.
That was
Yep.
cheaper. That was fucking loads cheaper than Oscar Mayer.
Oscar Mayer.
So we'd get like 2, 3, 4 of those for the price of like maybe 1.5 or 2 Oscar Mayer. So then that would be like the mustard bologna sandwich or the Miracle Whip sandwich. Which again, I can still eat those like far too much. The Cotto salami is what I've sort of graduated to. But I can.
I'm a Genoa, but
it just
or Genoa,
well,
depending
the
on where
regular
you are in the world.
little sticks or whatever.
Well,
I can't do those sticks anymore because it's just no salami sticks. Even like a beef stick, like a what do you call it? The fucking Macho Man one, Slim Jims and
Slim Jims.
Krista loves one different type of those, and I'm like, I cannot. Whatever's at Aldi, she always picks up like at the checkout there. She'll pick up 3, 4 of those every time, but I'm like, I can't. It's like an acid reflux type situation. But Braunschweiger, I don't know. I get the craving, and then I'm like, should I don't know if I can get back into it. Even the small chunk where it's like the little. If you could probably get like 6 slices off of that little log or whatever, and it's like, can I eat 6 slices? I could try, but do I want to?
Right.
That's one thing I sort of graduated completely from is that. It's like, there's times when I'm like, I really would like some sharp cheddar. I have something else down the road, again, for this snack platter that's on the list, and then Braunschweiger. Man, if I could, should I really go with it? I don't want to. No, I won't. But I mean, there's times when it's incredibly tempting.
So I've mentioned this before, and speaking of meat, even though like in at least growing up, snacks were snacks. It was like one thing, like that was your snack. It's not like you sat down and had a plethora of choices for your snack platter, unlike Dave.
Well, it wasn't choices.
But again,
It was like
I get it. No, I get it. So like, it was one of those in which we were asked kind of what we wanted, unless it was fruit snacks or stuff along those lines. Then it was like you just go and fucking grab it. But I've talked about this before, and this was a staple growing up for a lot of years, especially in the summertime. Smoked oysters and saltine crackers. But it had to be smoked oysters in oil, not in water. With a little bit of salt.
I buy those for my mom's husband every year at Christmas. I fill his stocking with smoked oysters, sardines. I think there's octopus in there one year I put in. He likes all that weird stuff. And, and my mom won't buy it for him because she doesn't like it and it stinks. So I always make sure to load them up at Christmas time.
Well, the smoked oysters in oil they're not pungent.
Yeah, they're not as pungent, yeah.
But it was one like my mom liked them, so like I started eating them. My grandfather liked them, and there were like in a can, like if you've ever seen a sardine can, it's the same size for smoked oysters, and it's not like oysters on the half shell when you go to a seafood restaurant and they're fucking big, like a hog piece of meat. They're small. And it's an acquired taste, but smoked oysters and saltine crackers quite frequently. Vinny?
How many did I actually say? One.
68.
Huh?
2.
68.
You've only said 2 technically.
What did I said? Whatchamacallit, and what was the other one?
You had whatchamacallit cereal for 1.
Yeah.
And then you had what the fuck was it?
I don't think I ever said another one.
I think you did.
No, I think I just went on a tirade on somebody else's. Because I still got 4 written down. Building off the Ecto Cooler, just as an honorable mention, again, another tirade.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yes.
Just give us the fucking 5, Vinny. Damn.
So this is a category. So my grandpap used to tend bar, and he would bring this stuff home. So it was Slim Jims, Redstone candy, cashews, peanuts, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, and popcorn balls. So anything
That's a multitude. That's
yeah,
a multitude
it is a
shit.
multitude, but
That's
that's
a
what,
smorgasbord. Like
exactly. But that's what it's that's snack number 3, and that's just what it is. So that whatever grandpap came home with is what I had as a snack. So
It's like the bartender special or whatever.
yeah, it's pretty much the bartender's special. So all things I enjoyed. But Ecto Cooler Orange Lava High C is
I was going to say, how the fuck did that dovetail off Ecto Cooler?
yeah, Orange Lava High C dovetails off of the
There
thing.
you go. All right.
yeah, but that's not a snack. That's a drink.
Yeah,
Yes, female brain tonight.
thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but my grandfather would stuff it in his shirt pockets, and he'd go Poncho, and he'd throw it at me. But he called me Poncho for Poncherello from Chips.
I was about to say from Chips, John Poncherello.
Yeah, so he called me Ponch or Poncho because that was one of my favorite shows growing up was Chips. So he would throw me beer nuts, Planters cashews, Planters peanuts, Slim Jims, hers, popcorn balls, Redstone candy. Redstone candy is a local place in the southwestern PA area. The family owned. They made they would have this Christmas time, Easter, all this. And then he used to know the guy, so he would get them all year round. They would put out these big things of candy, and he would get a couple, wrap it in a napkin, and throw it in there. But that was like the smorgasbord, as Brad would say, of snacks from the bar. And then popcorn. Remember the machines that used to do it?
Like when you
popcorn machine.
Yeah, the air popper.
Yeah.
We had a lot of popcorn growing up. My dad used to run those machines, and we would eat popcorn a lot. Either that, or we would get the bags of hers cheddar cheese popcorn. They made like the cheesies, they made the balls, and then they made the popcorn. And the when I was on a diet, I ate that that was the only thing I ate. 2 bags of that at work all day, and then I would eat dinner.
Pop would have been an honorable mention because I ate that quite a bit too because it was cheap.
Yep.
But it was, and it didn't matter like what the brand was. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Like that.
I got it
We
for
didn't-
Christmas. I have not used it yet.
We didn't have one like ours was just microwave, like because even microwave popcorn was still out there.
We had the one where it had the thing through the top, and you could just spin it over and there's a big like a soup pot.
Yeah,
Yep.
we had
So
that.
on top of the oven, whatever.
Yep.
So you can sit there and be like, okay, I'll let it pop for X amount of minutes. You had to sit there and tend to it if you wanted it. So that was another that would be an honorable mention.
Since liquids are not on here, I was I was thinking slush puppies. Remember those? They're like an icy or like a Mr. Misty. It
Yep.
had a little dog on a thing, but those were more of a treat than that. And same thing with Gatorade with in the glass bottles, and even the pop in the glass bottles. It had the what do you call it? The styrofoam on the glass bottles. Do you remember those? They were little flat ones, and they had styrofoam on the. And you could get your nail and dig the thing off, and you pull the label off. Like a Mountain Dew had Pepsi, Coke, they all had those styrofoam labels on the glass bottles.
Nope.
Well,
Not
that
ringing
was-
a bell with me.
Not here either.
I know it's called like Mexican Coke now in the glass bottle.
Hold on.
But no, what I just showed, like, that was, I think, bought off of Amazon. It's a popcorn popper,
Mm-hmm.
and you put butter at the top.
See how they had the metal screw tops, and then the labels were all styrofoam.
Huh.
And you would just, I remember, like, I'd stick my fingernail and just cut it off because it made a cool sound. But I'll do number 2 and then save number 1 for last. But getting to Dave's, it was meat and cheese. Was a very, like, cured meat, like capicola, supersetta, pepperoni, salami, all that. But we were given it by the Italians in our area, or the
I was gonna
Croatians.
say, this is what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, we would get it because
Cool.
we knew people, and that it's like we get wine and but we got a lot of cured meat and a lot of cheese.
You're
And then-
not. You're
Yeah.
not.
so they would give it to us, and then government cheese. There's nothing like American government cheese. So like when my dad would be on strike for the mine, we would get like 2 or 3 of them big things of cheese. They made the best toasted cheese sandwiches, or as grilled cheese sandwiches, as other people call them. And then as cheap meat, like Dave was saying, chipped ham. It's basically fatty ham.
Yep.
And Meredith just goes barf because she would see me. I'd get that chipped ham. I'd throw it in a pan, fry it, put a piece of cheese on it on a piece of on toast. And that
What's it called?
huh?
What's it called? Shit on a shingle.
Yep.
No, see that
Cream chip
that's
beef,
one way
not-
to talk.
Not where I'm from.
Yeah, from where I'm from, a shit on a shingle is usually turkey or something with gravy and potatoes on a piece of
Toast.
toast.
Yeah, cream chip beef on toast was
Yeah.
shit on a shingle in,
Yeah.
in our household.
Usually
Bologna,
turkey.
bologna gravy on toast was shit on a shingle in my house.
Now, we
Lot of
we had a lot of fried bologna sandwiches in our trailer when I
That
was a kid.
my mom made that for me, I think 2 or 3 birthdays ago. I
Yeah,
said, you know what? If you make like 3 or 4 fried bologna sandwiches with Miracle Whip on there, I'll be happy as a pig in shit. And I fucking mowed through them things. It might have been longer, but I mean that was something I'm like, I'll buy this
Some-
shit. Who cares?
Something that you could fucking make yourself, though, Dave.
But again, I'm not
It's
going to do
always-
it as well as she did. That was the
It's-
thing that goes back
it's
with
always-
the
It's always better when somebody else does it, anyways. But
a lot of jelly sandwiches too growing up.
yep.
A lot of white bread and jelly. And but I remember for lunch for school, we would take I would always, if I didn't eat lunch at school, like when they had hot dogs, because I used to eat hot dogs till I turned 5, and apparently I have not had one for 42 years. I just can't eat hot dogs.
Not me.
Yeah. Or bologna sandwiches. I can't eat bologna anymore because I used to eat that like crazy. So my grandma said I basically went on strike when I turned 5 and wouldn't eat bologna or hot dogs. So my grandpa would get that bacon, the old school from the deli bacon from the butcher.
So thick cut bacon.
Yeah, thick cut bacon. And my grandma would fry that, and I would have a bacon sandwich, and she would literally load that thing this high. So I would dump half of it off, eat the bacon, and then eat the sandwich too for lunch.
White bread, butter, bacon, other piece of white bread.
That sounds like Meredith when she eats sausage links.
We do that at the store. They'll cook up a bacon or like the homemade sausage links, and then there'll be bread there, and it's phenomenal.
Yes.
Off on a tangent again.
Okay. I'll save my number one.
So Dave, you might as well go through your next two, and then I'll do my next two, and then Vinny can do his number one, and then we can wrap it up. Since Michael's done.
One's more of a it was with an honorable mention that was with like the snack, and then one if my dad was out in the garage working on the woodworking out there, we get maybe a cherry Coke, and again that was rare. Again, not like today where kids fucking have everything under the sun. Pop back then was for adults, or pop was maybe if you went to the diner or the restaurant. And that was rare too. So I mean, it was a fucking rare occasion. The other honorable mention: strawberry milk. Nesquik out of the fucking metal can. I drank the shit out of strawberry, not chocolate, strawberry.
Ovaltine.
No,
Remember
not old.
Ovaltine?
Fucking strawberry.
Do you remember? Oh, I'm just asking. Do you know friggin'
Yes.
Ovaltine?
Yes.
No, what's the
I
old?
remember.
Is this some chocolatey?
I don't even know you anymore.
What?
Well, we can fix that.
Yeah, I know. Bye. That and what was the other? Tang. Remember Tang? Orange Tang.
Of course.
We drank. See, pop was you got pop for if you good for dinner.
Or a birthday party, maybe.
Yeah,
That was another one.
you were allowed to drink pop for dinner. You had to either drink lemonade or some kind of drink mix, Kool-Aid, that kind of stuff.
Kool-Aid was-
Another time, and then pop was. Then once I hit college, I drank 7 gallons of it a day. So because that was my
Kool-Aid,
cap.
Kool-Aid was the other one that I mean.
Kool-Aid was the major one for
And it wasn't Weilers, it was Kool-Aid. Even back then, we didn't do the Weilers, even though it was cheaper.
Yep, Kool-Aid.
Like my
So-
brother, when he used to go to his friend's house and they bought all the Sam's Club brand, pop. And he goes, that's the one thing I will spring for is my Sprite. He goes, I just can't cheap out on the pop. I can't drink Sam's Choice Cola. I got to
Dr.
drink.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Pibb.
Yeah. What was the Mountain Dew version? What the hell would they call it?
Was it Mountain Springs or something? Or
It's not
What?
important.
Moon Mist.
Moose piss.
Moose Piss. That was the Canadian version in Alberta.
I thought that was beer.
Anywho,
So-
All right, Dave.
top two.
Mountain Lightning.
Mountain Lightning. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this was usually if we had like the anti-Vinny, like a supper. It's like, okay, you have a burger, you have a hot dog, you have a Polish, you got green beans, 6-pack of beer. No. The white plain box of potato chips. It just said like Ripple chips
Yeah.
or potato
Okay.
chips. And then, because again, that they had them at the store we bought out. I don't know up until when. It might have been like the mid 2010s because I remember going there and seeing it. But I'm like, I know it's not going to be the size I remember. Because I was small, so it seemed bigger then. And I'm like, I know it didn't stay that size forever. It's probably now like one of the 99-cent bags, 6 of those in there. And then to go back to the meat, cheese, what you had to put them on something. You said it. saltines with some sort of butter,
Okay.
and you put them together, and that would be okay. You could have them solo, or you could have them with the cheese and the meat.
Did
And
you,
that, oh my god, that's something I crave more than I should. And I usually have saltines on hand because I'll just eat them by themselves. But if I've got like a country crock or a blue bonnet or something that I can put on there, I'm always tempted to have that as like a meal. Just by telling them, well, here's your meal. And it's just like fucking ham, turkey slices, cheese slices, and then like saltines. And she's like, what's this? That's my fucking childhood. Thank your fucking
Just-
lucky stars.
Just butter on saltines or peanut butter on saltines and just eat the shit out of it.
Oh god, the butter
jelly
on it.
saltines?
See, it was always just straight butter. I didn't need anything else because it was just so fucking good.
I
Especially-
like it with butter. Like I mean,
Especially if that butter was a little warm. I mean, it got to like room temperature and it wasn't like cold, and then you could really slather a lot on. I'm like, oh,
I had Townhouse butter crackers
Yep.
with peanut butter on them today at work. I have a jar of peanut butter at work and some crackers, and that's just what I had for lunch.
well, it's quick. It's fast. It can be filling if you eat enough of it.
Yeah.
Well, eat
So-
10 crackers, you're pretty much good. And you're like, okay,
Yep.
Building off of the poor thing. So I remember when I was the poor thing. Since
So we're going off another tangent. So we're
Yeah,
extending
just
this
a
even
quick-
longer than what
just-
it needs
just-
to be.
Shut up. Quick one. So I remember my aunt and my dad used to get bread and just put sugar on it. And
honey,
and
honey,
honey. I did the honey. So white bread, a piece of honey.
piece
But
of
they
honey.
would put theirs,
Piece of honey.
yeah, piece of honey. So, but they would get the bread and put it in a cup of milk, and they'd eat that too.
What?
That was one of the things. Or my grandfather used to do the cornflakes and coffee.
Oof.
My grandfather used to eat cornbread and milk.
Yeah,
Anytime we had cornbread for beans or anything like, there was always cornbread left, and that's what he would eat in the evening. He'd put a piece of cornbread and like eat it with a spoon and milk. I could
Kevin
never do it.
Kevin Costner's character, Billy Chappell, in For Love of the Game, ate bread and milk.
Yep.
Yeah, I just
Huh.
I used to do it when I was like when they go on strike for the mine. That's when I ate the weirdest things. I never ate spam though. My mom would just.
I love spam. We love it
My
here.
mother loves
Fried
it.
spam is delicious.
Yes, we eat it
and
at
eggs,
least probably
really.
once every 5 or 6 days.
So, did you guys use buns when you were a kid? Like, we'd use buns for like hot sausage sandwiches, pork sandwiches, lamb sandwiches, but lamb sandwiches, we used Saloni's Italian bread. But like, if you had a hamburger or a hot dog, you just either used a piece of toast or white bread.
No, we use buns.
See,
Yeah.
that was one thing when we were growing up. Like, if we had I could see my mom making hamburgers, and I would make toast because I like mine on toast. But my brothers, we all had hot dogs. They all used white bread because buns were more expensive.
Again,
just
going
curious
off an additional tangent.
Okay, am I the last one?
No, I haven't been able.
Oh, you
you
go.
decided to take over for a bit.
Well,
so,
guess
like,
what? Hey, I got tenure now.
Ah!
no, you don't. you ain't got shit.
I'll renege the StreamYard, damn it.
Go for it. We'll go back to the way it used to look.
Yeah, it's not like we will use it, but anyhow, I'm just busting your balls.
I know you are, just as I am doing the same to you.
They say friendships last longer when you do that. So we should be friends forever.
Cinnamon toast. Cinnamon toast was a staple for breakfast in my house. Talk about cheap breakfast.
Yep.
Mhm.
Anyways, so my last two, and one's probably you're all going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Well, the smoked oysters was one, so I mean we'll go with another one.
And this actually, like, I want to say, kind of started around 5th grade, only because I think that's when they actually did them. So Del Monte canned vegetables.
Yep.
Okay.
They came out with small cans.
The mini ones, yep.
Yep, that had the pull top.
Yep.
Believe it or not, green beans and corn straight out of the fucking can, like clockwork. Like
Green
they-
beans? Green beans I could do.
cold,
Corn? Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah.
with a little bit of salt, just a little bit. Like they were, some of them were purchased specifically just for like me for a snack. I know, a little odd, but like I don't know. I would like so the corn I would drain,
Okay.
but the green beans I would drink the water. I don't know. But anyways. And since we brought up liquid and things to drink, did anybody ever drink like pear nectar?
No, my
And the thing,
the friend had like the
Small little
Apricot
cans.
stuff, I think. Like the blue can.
I like
It was like that. It was a pull tab, but it had like
yes,
that
very
sort of
small.
goofy-
Yes, but
some
so
sort of
like
different
I
tape.
did-
Sort of like a tape
Yeah,
or something.
almost
it was
exactly.
silver.
Yep,
Donald
I-
Duck orange juice.
I did pear and apricot nectar on occasion, but that was not where I was going. So my small can of vegetables, and number one, peanut butter crackers, like actual like packaged
Okay.
peanut butter crackers,
Mhm.
whether it be the toast version or the cheese cracker with peanut butter, it didn't fucking matter. Peanut butter crackers were always in the house, and another thing in which they had to be hidden because I could sit down and literally eat like 3 and 4 packages. So
Same,
That was-
same with
that-
the,
So that is
Yeah.
my number one because, like, I ate peanut butter crackers and I still eat them from time to time as an adult. I don't keep them in the house very often because, again, like I'll eat one and then I'm still kind of hungry a little bit later on. And it's like I need to eat something. No, I'll just go grab another pack of peanut butter crackers, and before I know it, they're gone.
and that's something. That's something.
They're
So-
one of my go-tos for road trips. I'll go into the gas station. I'll buy one of the things. Got like 8 of them in there. 8 peanut butter crackers, and then I'll grab a bag of Gardettos.
Oh, I love original Gordettos.
That's what the mustard ones is what Meredith eats.
The pizzeria ones are my favorite.
I'll stick with the original, but thank you.
Combos. I forgot about combos.
You just worry
Corn
about that
nuts.
some other time.
Yep, corn nuts.
We'll talk about snacks another time, like the.
That's but see, some of that's older, like older as we got older with stuff.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
All right, Vinny, number one, so we can wrap up.
Chips. Like Dave said, my love affair with chips over anything. Hers, they were local brands. I don't know if you've ever heard of Hers potato chips
Menards has them.
and Snyder's of Hanover. So Snyder's had barbecue. Yep. So the pretzels, yeah, the cheese popcorn, the regular popcorn, but they had I'm thinking number one had to be the wavy. They were a red bag, plain wavy potato chips, and then the sour cream and onion Hers, and then Snyder's of Hanover had barbecue, where you had basically, it showed a picture of a pot barbecue and chips, and their barbecue chips. If I go to Pennsylvania, I buy 2 or 3 bags to bring them back because we don't have them here. The one, huh? Sure. Stay upstairs. Do the show from upstairs. But yeah, Snyder's of Hanover and Hers potato chips. Very rarely we got like Lay's every once in a while. Or Ruffles. That was another one. And Munchos. Do you guys remember Munchos?
I see them on the shelf still.
They're like a potato crisp.
Well, Munchies are my favorite thing.
Oh,
They
I know
have-
what you're talking. Like the trail mix type
Yeah,
shit.
it has Sun Chips.
Yep.
It has rolled gold pretzels. It has crunchy Cheetos.
Yep.
And it's just all my favorite things in one bag.
I've
I've had that before too, Michael. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then my mom's actually in Iowa right now for a week, and she's going to be bringing me back a couple bags, and that is Sturzing's potato chips. Sturzing's are my favorite, and they used to only be able to get them up in Iowa, and then Hy-Vee started selling them, so you can buy them at Hy-Vee's all over the place now. But they're like super salty chips, and they're cooked in beef tallow.
Okay.
So
Yep.
whenever you open it up, it smells like a hamburger, and they just taste so good. They're addicting.
So ship me a bag at some point, Michael, because that's you're like piquing my interest.
Okay.
I'll even send you the money. Like
No,
serious.
no. I'll get some sometime.
Yeah, you have piqued my interest with that. So
They're just the best potato chip.
they sound like it because again, like a chip that smells like I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like you can't go wrong with that.
They tried switching up the recipe at one time where they didn't cook it in beef tallow, and they sucked ass. So they went back to the beef tallow.
Wise decision.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Jeff, Better Made, which is a like more local thing here, I don't care for them, but the better half loves the barbecue Better Made cheap chips. She eats the snot out of them, and then Cece likes the ketchup chips. And if she doesn't have the ketchup chips she could find, because they're very seasonal and they come from Canada every once in a while, she gets Lay's potato chips and puts ketchup on them. And that's why I think she's part Canadian, because that's pretty big up there from what I've been told. And yeah. Utz chips too. UTZ was another local chip. They're pretty decent.
Yeah, we always stuck to the tried and true. Lay's, Ruffles, Doritos.
Pringles, before they became garbage, they changed it
Pringles.
about 8 years ago.
The Lays and the Stacks or whatever. Those are the
Those are
Wait,
pretty good
Too.
too. Yep, I like those.
I like those better than Pringles now.
my favorite chip. Once we actually were able to get chips that were worth a shit. Monterey Jack Doritos from the early '90s were fucking the best.
Never had those.
Oh, I could still taste them. I fucking still can taste the shit. And
When
they,
it,
they came out with the ones. They came out with the ones with like it was like the mystery flavor. What 10, 12 years ago, and it was like it tastes like a bacon cheeseburger. And then they had like it's a silver bag, I think now at Doritos. If you go check it out, like not a holiday, like a Walmart, Target, wherever, or your grocery stores. And that's like it says Monterey Jack, but it does not have nearly the taste of the older ones. Like I don't mind if it doesn't have. I loved when Doritos, the Cool Ranch, would have that just douching of the flavor on there. The Monterey Jack had more of that, and it was so good.
A douchey is that an industry term, Dave?
That's the nomenclature.
Yes, get them.
What was the Dorito?
Copyright that shit.
I have. Don't worry.
Like 3 or 4 years ago, they came out with this Dorito, and it was either queso Dorito or something. But they were so good. I forget what they're called, and then I've never seen them again. They were in a yellowish orange bag, and I thought I saw them again because it was yellowish orange bag, and I bought them, and they were not what I wanted. But I can't
Well,
think.
they've got the golden sriracha out now in that gold bag.
Definitely not that. Do I look like a golden sriracha kind of guy?
Yes.
Okay. Just like you say, my hands are clammy and they're drier than the Sierra Nevada desert.
Pizza Pringles.
Oh,
When
those
Pringles were good. When
Yep.
Pringles were good. Anyways.
Oh, Chex Mix too. That was always good.
Trying to think what.
Dave, don't wreck your brain.
Salsa Verde Doritos were good. That was the green bag, and I mean those were that little kick to them. I don't Doritos that were queso. I'm sure I ate them because every fucking Dorito that comes out.
Maybe it was taco flavored. All I know, they had an extra cheese to them, and it had like almost like Michael said, like a beef tallow taste to them, and they were just freaking good. But I don't know. I'll have to do some research. The research department will have to go through them tonight while he's trying to sleep, which he doesn't. So it seems I've been told that, Baz. They have a plethora of chips to choose from.
On that note,
And
till
that's
next
why I
week.
love Canada.
There's a couple things for future episodes. Definitely a top 5 chips because that's. But we've got to keep it to top 5. We can't.
I could
Yes.
do that.
And
Deviate-
multiple honorable
deviate too
mentions.
far. I mean, we could sit there and be like, okay, I like the Lay's sour cream and onion versus an Old Dutch versus a Hers versus like the Great Value. We can do that, but like, you know what? I really like the Pennzoil 10W30 motor oil compared to the Lazy Boy recliner. Like,
Yeah, because that somehow I could see that's how the conversation could go.
which again, I don't mind that, but that's what the top 5 sort of like to put brackets on things, and
We'll
don't mind
get you
going-
honorable mentions.
yeah, that's always fine. I never mind that either because it's insanely.
Within reason, though.
Sorry, I took the honorable mentions to a whole new level. It's because I missed out last week for reasons.
Yes, and we spent 35 minutes talking about other videos, music videos.
Well, guess what? It
Wrap
happened.
us up, Dave. Hush.
My top 5
been-
favorite snacks. I love porterhouse steaks. Filet mignon. That just missed the cut.
Portobello's. Top 5 favorite childhood snack. Portobello's.
Giordano's.
Yeah, right.
Jack
we only
Big
just-
Chicken.
Yeah, since we only just had it 2 years ago.
Probably
I can have it anytime I want. It's down the street now.
I think there's a big chicken coming to Fort Worth here.
Oh.
I'm not driving to Fort Worth though.
Meredith would like that one.
But I do we do have a Portillo's, one in the Colony and then one in Denton. I haven't gone yet, but it's definitely on my list of places to go now that it's here local.
That and a Dave's chicken, that Dave's hot chicken or whatever. If you get a chance, there's one around you. Which there doesn't seem to be many around. I think it's
I see the advertisements, but I don't think we have one around here.
because they've got like the pimento cheese on the sandwich.
I don't do pimento
Just
cheese. No.
try it.
No.
If you don't like it, send the rest up here. I'll eat it.
I do not do pimento cheese. Ugh. Gag.
So good.
I'll take your word for it, but
That's the adult snack right there. Get some, what is it? The Keebler Club crackers, and just start dipping the shit, or be fancy and get like the the Brenton or the Cabaret, because you get more coverage with the bigger cracker.
I like Frito scoops and cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese would be another snack too. That was something
Yep.
that I fucking ate it, and I still do.
Yep.
I mean,
I
I'll
got
get
I got a big tub of it in the fridge right now. I love that shit. Alicia hates it, so I don't ever have to worry about her eating it.
Put
Can't.
douche it with pepper, then a little salt, and then I am pretty much going to eat the whole thing.
Yep.
I love that cottage cheese.
When I was a kid, my mom would put like canned pears on
Okay.
the cottage cheese.
That's what my grandfather would do for lunch. Peaches or pears with cottage
Peaches.
cheese.
Yep.
And I never needed that. That was the thing. I was like, I will willingly devour that and ask for more. And I think it was always surprised my mom. Like, you eat a lot of cottage cheese. I'm like, yeah,
It's because it's delicious.
fucking great.
Well, we do have a Dave's Hot Chicken in Denton, so. And there's one in Plano, Frisco area, one in Plano. So I have a couple that are somewhat close. So I will have to go check it out, but without the pimento cheese. Anyways, wrap us up, Dave.
Well,
That shit makes
thank you for
That shit makes me gag. Sorry.
oh, so good. Joining us in this journey. I mean, we might have glazed over talking about food for a moment.
At some point. And
Shocking,
Josh
I
is
know.
too.
That's why probably half the votes don't come in for the IRP, because if you look at all these other YouTube content creators, it looks like they literally had a piece of bread and water for their fucking meal for the day. So, I don't know where they're eating, but they're eating good.
I will go ahead and say this too. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to talk about this in the pre-show. We will talk about it more in after hours. Pay attention to community posts, because schedule may be a little bit different over the next couple weeks for reasons. At least from my perspective. Like, if y'all choose to go on, then y'all can go on. But just in the event that something changes, always pay attention to the community posts.
Yeah, don't be like Eric that one time when we were on the tape and then he's trying to talk to people and
Yeah, we ran the premiere of a recorded video thinking it was live. But in his defense, we had never done one of those before. So, like, even though we said there will be a video that is uploaded, but it will not be live.
in his defense, he's a Boston Bruins fan, so
And he likes chocolate sticks.
yeah, and he rides a bike, so I mean, come on now.
Anyways, sorry.
What you got next? A jetpack? Come on, let's get serious here. Rocketeer. So, until next time, Michael, Vincenzo, Steve, I'm Dave. This has been the IRP. Remember, collecting cards is a wonderful hobby. The friendships you forge along the way and the grifting that you can do, that's what really matters. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.